Hi, welcome back to my vlog, Piece of Life, and today I'm gonna do something a little bit different. So I know how everybody talks about manifesting, and this just kind of came out of nowhere a little bit, but it's a story that I've always told, and it's such a great story. And so by the title, it really is like a true love story, but the more I thought about it, it's like it really does kind of combine a lot of like manifesting, before manifesting was even a thing. So I think when people talk about manifesting, it's been around forever. I really do believe that because it's like, when you think about things, like you can bring them into, or just like, when you think about something and it kind of comes to fruition. But enough about that. What you came for is the love story and manifesting. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about my background. So I am half Greek and I am half Black. My mom's Greek and my dad is Black. Now the story how they met is so serendipitous. It's pretty amazing. So okay, so I'm gonna give you a little bit of a background. So my mom obviously was in Greece, and she was 17, and she was going to visit her sister who lived on the other side of town. So my mom lived in the city, so think like Acropolis, like it was called Phalerio. So but it's in like the city of Greece, and my dad was in the Air Force, and he was stationed in Turkey, and he was almost done. And so him and his friend decided to take a bus to go to Greece so he could see the Acropolis and see some sightseeing before he left. And so that's what they did. And then my mom had a package to deliver to her sister. And so my dad's on his bus, it's like a military bus, and my mom's on just like her bus, local city bus. And she gets off the bus, and my dad sees her, and he like is immediately like just magnetized to her. So like he runs up to her, and he kind of just starts talking to her a little bit because she doesn't, obviously she's Greek, she doesn't know English. At that time. So he's talking to her for a little bit and then just kind of left it at that. His friend's like, come on, dude, like, let's go. Like, this is back in the 60s, but he was like, probably like, what are you doing? So my dad goes on about his business, but then he goes to a hotel where he's gonna stay. And it's like basically, I guess kind of like a military base, but it's like a hotel where a lot of people that are in the military are staying. And he asked the guy that was running the hotel, did he know who this woman was? And when I say woman, my mom's only 17, but he described her, that she was tall. I mean, my mom's like 5'6", but for a Greek woman, that's pretty tall, because I think average is like 5'2", probably 5'3", and he just kind of described her, and the guy knew who she was, but he didn't want to really say anything because she was, and he's like, well, you'll probably run into her or whatever. My dad's like, how's that gonna happen? But the guy knew that her sister lived close on base, like in a house with that's where her boyfriend was staying, who was also in the military. So my dad waited outside of the hotel for literally like 4 hours in hopes that he would run into my mom again. Sure enough, he does. And so he grabs her and like he starts talking to her, physically grabs her, but he's like, hey, remember me from the bus? And I don't know how they communicated. Like his friend was even like, I don't know how you guys had a 3-hour conversation because like she doesn't know Greek she doesn't know English and you don't know Greek. So they talked for like 3 hours. Now we're talking 60s, so no like digital cameras, no iPhones, but he found a little kid to take a picture of them, which is so cool that he's had like a little camera with him, and he was so like into my mom, and he had the little boy take a picture of them, which they still have, or which I still have, on the first day they met. So I always keep it in my wallet because I think it's such a cool story. And just like how, like, I don't know, crazy things can happen. Oh, shoot. This is not it. This is another picture of my dad me. That's my sister, me when we were little. Okay, I don't have it in this one, so I have it in my other wallet. So I'll probably put it in the thumbnail. Like the fact that he took a picture the first time he saw her. Okay, so before he left her, he said to her, I'm gonna take you back to the States, California, because my dad was getting stationed in the Bay Area on Hamilton Base, which I don't know if you know the Bay Area. It's like in Marin, and he's like, I'm gonna take you back to California, and we're gonna get married, and we're gonna have 2 kids. This is just off of seeing her and talking to her for 3 hours. Like his friend was like, dude, like that's whacked. But my dad was like, I'm gonna marry you. What's your address? Give me your information. And literally, he mailed my mom, sent her letters every day for 8 months. Her parents tried to hide the letters from her because they were like, I mean, think about it. I mean, this story is not even about interracial relationships. It's just about a love story and how you can kind of like manifest. And sometimes when you know. But they got to her. She got the letters every day. And the fact that it's so crazy is that my dad was like, he literally just saw her for a minute on the bus and he was like, she's the one. And in 2 hours, he's like, I'm gonna marry you, take you back to the States. We're gonna have 2 kids. And he had 2 kids. So it's me and my sister, Tony. And so the crazy thing is that he wrote her every day and she wrote him back. She had somebody help her translate the letters. But the crazy thing is that in those 8 months, like they didn't fall for someone else. My mom was only 17. My dad was only 20. My dad is the most amazing man in the world. He is my hero. He has passed away, but he had a girlfriend back in Georgia. So he's from the South, Georgia, and it was a pastor's daughter, and they were dating. You know, they met in college, and he was like, I found my wife, and his mom was adamant about talking him out of it. Like she was like, you can't do this. Like, you know, like again, interracial relationships were so like, whoa. And my dad was just so stubborn, which I love. And he was like, no. That's why I think I'm such a dreamer when it comes to romance, is because I know it's possible. Because I was like, Mom, was that normal back then? And she was like, no. It's like, that wasn't normal. It wasn't like it was like a setup wedding, or it was just like he saw her. And the fact that he saw her in that little time they shared together, he knew what he wanted, and he went back home. And it wasn't like he was like, okay, I'm back home. What was I thinking? Okay, this is so great. I'm in Greece. I meet this beautiful girl. No, and he was like, I want to be with you. I don't want to be with anybody else. And then he came back. They had a traditional Greek wedding in 8 months. And then he brought my mom back to the States. And then I'm here, my sister. And it's crazy. Like, and then I thought about manifesting, because, I'm into that. Not everybody is, but I do feel like if you ask, believe, receive, things can happen. And I do believe, like, there is love at first sight. I mean, my mom and dad are a testament to that. And it's like something that he knew, like he manifested that. I'm going to take you back to the States. We're going to have 2 kids. He didn't say 3 kids. He didn't say 4 kids. He said 2 kids. We're going to go back. And he did it. And, they were together forever. And, until he passed away. And it's just like, I mean, he's the best dad. My mom is just like, every day says how great he is. And it's like, everybody that knows him just remembers him and tells me how like lucky you are to have a dad like that. And he used to take us to like Great America, and he would just sit and read. He was so smart, and he would just take us to like the water slides. But it's just a beautiful story. I wanted to show you some pictures too, because it's so cute. So like this is my I'll try to like look at that. So that's my dad and my mom, and they did a traditional wedding where they put those little wreaths on each other's head. I mean, this is like a big deal, because again, this is like in the 60s. Here's another one. Look how young they are. They're so cute. My mom said as soon as she saw him, she was like, oh my God, he is so cute. I didn't even know my mom was like that. Here's another one. Look how cute. That's her dad. So imagine, that's her brother, her sister. I mean, my mom's from a big family, so is my dad. This one here, I think I showed you that one. And then there was also this one. It's so cute too. When they got married. And there's one that I really love. I have to find it. I'll probably put it in the thumbnail. And then this is like, look. That's me in the middle. And that's my mom, my sister. But he did it. He did it. And on the back of this one, actually he sent this from, he sent this to his mom and dad. But just to say, and then there's one little other caveat I want to tell you. Just because of how big of a deal it was to be in an interracial relationship with, back then, even now, I mean, as much as we're open to it, I don't even know that it's that common. Like when I'm out, I don't see people all the time, but I know things are changing for the good and I'm happy. But actually probably shouldn't tell you this story, but it doesn't matter because it was so long ago. My mom said that when my dad first came back with my sister, this is before I was born, came back to Georgia, that his mom had a gun in her, I mean, she was licensed to carry it, but she had a gun in her purse because she was so worried that somebody, in the South might see my dad with my mom and be like really offended by it, which, it's crazy, but that's how it goes. But I just want to tell you, like, what a beautiful story. It's like, I think that's why I'm such a dreamer, and I believe in love at first sight, and I believe if you're meant to be with somebody, it'll happen, because it just meant timing. He was on the bus, she was on her bus, she had to bring that gift. He decided to go to the Acropolis. He waited at the hotel. She showed up. What if she didn't come back by there again? And she dug him as much as, that sounds so 70s, but she was into him. Like, she waited for 8 months. She didn't meet anybody else. She didn't want to talk to anybody else. He was back in the States. He was back in Georgia. I mean, he had so many opportunities. He already was kind of seeing somebody. It's like, you think he could have said, this is crazy. What am I doing? Like, I'm back home now. I mean, nothing could stop him. Okay. Like, he has 3 brothers and he had, no, actually 4 brothers and a sister, and they could not talk him out of it. And I wouldn't be here if he didn't pursue my mom and my sister. And it's just such a great story. So I feel like this is like a true love story. And it, but it also brings in interracial dating back in the 60s, which is such a big deal. I mean, that was like so taboo. And then the fact that manifesting, like, he said it and he did it. I know this is just like a little story time. I hope you like it. I don't typically do story times on here, but I don't know. This is my channel and I just want to do something fun and different. And hopefully it'll inspire you guys. It's like Thanksgiving's coming around. It's a holiday spirit. Like, anybody watching this, if you see somebody and you feel moved by them, or don't be afraid to, like, give them your business card or give them your, give them your number or say hi. Like, take more chances. It's like, you may never get that opportunity again. Write a little note on their card, buy them a coffee. Like, don't be afraid. I mean, who cares if they don't respond or they don't feel the same way? It's like, don't be afraid to take those chances. This really inspired me, and my mom and I had been talking about it, and I've been missing my dad, and, Veterans Day had just passed and I had went to go see him, and it just, like, she was telling me the story, and it, it cheered me up and it made me sad, but it just is like, because, I'm hearing it from my mom's perspective. It's like, God, I wish I could have heard it from my dad's perspective, like how he felt when he saw her, and like, just like what his family was saying and what he was thinking, and like, was he worried if she was gonna, like, maybe meet someone else? Because the reality of it is, my mom was in Greece, 17, she was gorgeous. My dad was so good looking, and they both could have met other people, but they both, like, bonded, and they didn't even know each other's language. So anything's possible. So that's my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm just drinking my coffee out of my faith cup, because you gotta have faith. And I read in my, like, scripture today, it talked about all God, I know some people don't like talking about religion on YouTube, but, I read a scripture every day, and it really talked about being thankful. All God wants from us is to be thankful and faithful. And that's a really easy thing to do. Like, he's not asking for much. And, really being, like, faithful in the things that you want. So I hope this was a fun video. I hope it inspired you. I'll put some more pictures in the thumbnail. If you have any other questions, my mom is such a good storyteller. She could probably tell this better than me. But anything's possible. I mean, he just took one look and he was like, bam. That's my wife, 2 kids. We're going to California. And he did it. And I love my dad so much. And I'm so glad I get to talk about him, because it makes me so happy when I can talk about him. Okay, so I'm going to sign off. I hope you are staying safe. If I don't talk to you guys before Thanksgiving, have a beautiful, beautiful Thanksgiving. And be kind to yourself and others. Bye.